Hi there. Welcome to Anonymity 1D. My name is Dave. I have type 1 diabetes. This is my daughter Brooke. Her best friend Mia has type 1 diabetes also.
My name is Susan. I am Mia's mom.
My name is Alex. My son Miguel was recently diagnosed with type 1.
And my name is Matt. I am a diabetes educator. In this video, we will go over what is an insulin pump and how it can help in the management of type 1 diabetes. Please remember that this is for educational purposes only and is not meant to replace your doctor or care team.
Hi Dave. Good to see you again. Thanks again for coaching Miguel's team. Did soccer practice go well?
Yeah. The boys played so well.
Hi everyone.
Matt, what are you doing here?
I came to give the nurses another talk. Thought I'd say hi before I head out.
Dave, I saw you take your insulin pump off during soccer. Is that okay?
It's okay to take it off for some time. The tubing can get caught easily, so I take it off.
I didn't know it was easy to take off and put it back on. Susan, does Mia do the same before sports too?
Mia's insulin pump does not have tubing, so I don't have to do that.
Matt, if you have some time, can you explain pumps a little to Miguel and me? We are both interested but have so many questions.
Sure, let's do it. Let's start with what an insulin pump is. As the name suggests, it is a device that is sending a drip of insulin into the body continuously.
Is that why it is attached to the body all the time?
That's right.
What kind of insulin is in the pump?
Rapid-acting insulin, the one Miguel takes for his meals.
So, does Miguel still need the nighttime insulin shot?
That's a good question. He does not. Let's revisit how we manage diabetes. We use a basal bolus regimen. The basal insulin is the background insulin that prevents ketone formation all day and night, whether you are eating or not. The bolus insulin is what you take for meals and high blood sugars. When you take injections, the basal insulin is given by the nighttime insulin. It is given once a day and steadily releases insulin over 18 to 24 hours. The bolus is achieved with the rapid-acting insulin for either carbs or high blood sugars. On an insulin pump, the rapid-acting insulin in the pump drips continuously to provide that background insulin. This is called basal rate. Because it does that, you do not need a separate nighttime insulin injection. The insulin for carbs or high sugar corrections are given through the same pump. That is called a bolus. You enter the carbs and blood sugar into the pump. It calculates and delivers the dose. Some pumps have a cartridge which holds the rapid-acting insulin. It has tubing that is connected to the cartridge on one end, and the other end stops just under the skin. So, the insulin is delivered from the cartridge through the tubing to the body. There is also a tubeless pump. Here the insulin is stored in a pod that sits right on the body. There is a very short tubing that goes from that pod directly under the skin. Both pumps, with tubes and tubeless, deliver basal rates and boluses.
Miguel, I love that for everything I eat, my mom and dad dose through the pump. There are no injections. I just have to let them know before I eat. So do I need any injections at all?
You won't get multiple injections a day like you do now. You will get one poke every 2 to 3 days when you need to change where the pump is on your body.
Do we change that on our own?
Your parents will be taught how to do it. It's not hard at all.
It's not difficult. I even help my parents with some of the steps. How does the pump know how much insulin is needed?
We program the insulin to carb ratios into the pump. High sugar correction, called correction factor or sensitivity factors, are also entered into the pump. You can enter different carb ratios and correction factors for different times of the day, which gives you a lot of flexibility. Here are some common terms we use with an insulin pump. Basal rate refers to the background insulin delivered continuously by the pump. Bolus refers to the insulin dose given for carbs or high sugar correction. Target is the blood sugar that the pump is programmed to maintain. Threshold is the blood sugar above which the pump starts correcting down to target. Insulin on board refers to how much insulin is still active and working. Active insulin time refers to how long the insulin is still working.
Just like different carb ratios, you can have the pump give you different amounts of background or basal insulin at different times of the day. For example, I need more insulin earlier in the morning but less later in the day, so I adjust it accordingly.
That's interesting. So, unlike the nighttime insulin where you get one dose all day and all night, with the insulin pump, you can change that to give you more or less.
Exactly. It really allows a lot of flexibility in diabetes management.
But when Dad took the pump off, he stopped getting that basal insulin, right? Isn't that dangerous?
That's a great question, Brooke. It's okay to take the pump off for less than an hour, like when taking a shower or getting into the pool. But beyond an hour, there may not be as much insulin in the body, so your dad should get the pump back on soon. Alex, remember that Miguel's risk for getting into DKA is higher on insulin pumps than injections. Because there is no long-acting insulin injection, if there is any reason why Miguel is not getting the basal insulin through the pump for a long period of time, then he will start forming ketones quickly.
Matt, can you tell me when that can happen?
Most common reasons are if there is a kink or a bend in the tubing like shown here, so the insulin cannot be delivered. Sometimes, the skin where you insert the tubing can get infected. If you run out of insulin in the pump, or you take the pump off, like for sports, but forget to put it back on, then he is at risk for DKA. If Miguel is having high sugars for a few hours and you can't figure out what's going on, start with checking the pump site. Remember, when in doubt, change it out.
How do I choose which pump to use? Dave and Mia both have different ones.
We can set up a class for you and your parents so we can go over all the options. That will help a lot.
That would be great. So let me see if I got this. With insulin pumps, all of the insulin that Miguel needs is given as rapid-acting insulin through the pump. The basal rate replaces the nighttime insulin, so he does not need a separate nighttime insulin injection. The insulin dose given for carbs and high sugar correction is called a bolus. The risk of DKA is higher with insulin pumps, so I should be alert and check him for ketones if his sugars have been high for a few hours, especially if there is no explanation.
You got it.
Matt, can you explain what a closed loop is?
Sure, let's go over that next. We hope this gave you a better understanding of what an insulin pump is. Please remember that this is for educational purposes only and is not meant to replace your doctor or care team.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching.